everyone. This is Corrine Lafont, your favorite radio host, your only radio host, and favorite girl, of course, broadcasting to you from the lovely island of Trinidad and Tobago in the Caribbean on Between the Lines. And you know how we do it here on Between the Lines? Always, always with gratitude, or some people say thankfulness. And I am thankful to be above ground. I am thankful to be here today. I am thankful that it's raining here in Trinidad and Tobago. Some people might be annoyed, but it is raining and it is beautiful. It keeps the grass green, the trees green. Everything is just balanced and fine. And I have with me Paula Cherie. I hope I pronounce her name properly.
Yes, you did.
Yes, she says yes. So that's a good thing for me. And let me tell you what we're talking about today. We're talking about unapologetically feminine. Now, you have to take your time when you're saying that word. You could bite your tongue and twist your lips and all sorts of things. Unapologetically feminine. Okay, and I need all the ladies to come in, even the men to come on in here in order for you to get a little bit of an understanding and appreciation of what we're going to be talking about. And feel free to engage with us. We have the comment section. Even if you feel a bit shy, you can still leave your comments and we will still engage with you in the replay. But once you comment with us, once you comment and share and interact with us live, you'll be able to see your comments show up at the bottom of the screen and you'll be able to get your questions answered live by Paula and or myself. If you happen to be hearing an echo, please let us know, because on my previous episode, a member of the audience said that they were hearing an echo. So we are not hearing an echo here. If you are, please let us know and we'll see what we can do to adjust that. But in the meantime, let's keep it going. Let me introduce you to Paula. So Paula Cherie is on a mission to help other artists and entrepreneurs to leverage their influence and foster successful revenue streams. With an MBA and a successful career as a multi-six-figure photographer and fine artist, Paula is on a mission to help artists and entrepreneurs banish burnout, identify limiting beliefs, and flourish as both individuals and entrepreneurs to live a more meaningful life. And as you know, we do it here on Between the Lines. I'm going to showcase our website. So you'll see a little bit of our website, and there's a wonderful video. I did check our website before, and there's a wonderful video on there that I enjoy watching. So if we don't get to show the whole clip, I encourage you to take a look at that video. It's really, really good, and it kind of centers on what we're going to be talking about today. So welcome, Paula, to Between the Lines.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, it's great to have you. So unapologetically feminine. You tell me what you think that means. What does it mean to you when you hear that term?
It means being comfortable with who you are and really being comfortable in your own skin. And it's what I empower my ladies to do when they come in for a session with me. The whole idea is that they're not feeling good about themselves, is that when they leave my studio, that they feel like $1,000,000 and they can conquer the world.
I love that. So cape on, let's go. Cape on, you're a superwoman. But you said something there. You said when they come in, if they're not feeling good about themselves, by the time they leave, they're feeling good about themselves. So let's talk about that beginning, middle, and end part, which is a sort of journey. Why would people not feel good about themselves? What is happening to us as women that we don't feel good about ourselves, and what is contributing to that?
It's our daily lives, I think. So it's society. I think society's ideals of what a beautiful woman is, that we're supposed to be all of these things. We're supposed to, get the manicures, the pedicures, the bikini waxes, all of the things while, being a professional career woman, dealing with the demands of children and daily life. And you get burnt out. And a lot of women don't take care of themselves. They put themselves last. Usually for many years, a lot of women will come in for a boudoir session, usually after the kids have left the house sometimes, or they have like a big upcoming anniversary or whatever. And they just they don't feel like themselves. They've lost touch with who they were before they had children, or before they got married. And they kind of want to reconnect with that side of
loving on ourselves, I would think, to some extent, prior to meeting the person that comes into our life. Because you said
Yeah.
something there a while ago, we want to go back to who we were. Why do we give up who we were when we meet somebody in our lives and lose ourselves in the process? That we have to, after getting married, probably divorce, somebody dies, or whatever it is, that we want to go back. Why give it up in the first place?
That's a great question. And I think it's because we're raised to be nurturers.
Oh,
So everybody's needs come before our own. The problem is that we end up shortchanging ourselves. Um, it's really at our expense because we're not cultivating um, who we are,
mhm.
and we pay for it, I think.
Yeah. But you said we are nurturers. So why can't we nurture ourselves first?
Exactly. And I really feel like we should. I think that's something that that I strive to at least teach them, that it's okay to put yourself first and that this isn't just a bunch of sexy photos. It's really when you feel good about yourself, you have the power to go out and do those things that you feel like you were holding you back. I feel like so often when we don't feel confident, it really holds us back from everything else in life. So I always feel like a boudoir is life changing in that respect.
So let me ask you something. We're naked in front of you, basically. When we come in there
Mhm.
and you adorn us, with the necessary clothing to make us feel sexy and appealing once again. But what are some of those quote unquote flaws that we think we have when we are vulnerable in front of you that we need to cover or mask?
Oh gosh, it's everything. um, we really pick ourselves apart. So, I mean, it's everything from, body shape, cellulite, all of the physical things that we maybe tend not to like about ourselves. So, they said their belly's too big or the big thighs, or just usually it's most of the time it's we women feel like we're too big versus too small. But every now and then I will get a client that is so small. Um, and like I really had one client, she actually had body dysmorphia, and that's something that I can't really help with, like that's I
Mhm.
can I can show you how beautiful you are, but if you have body dysmorphia, it's only going to go so far.
Yeah. And what is causing us to have those perceptions of ourselves that we're too big or too small in reference to what?
So much of society puts our value on our looks. So
Yeah.
society teaches us, that our worth is based upon our body size, which is a shame, really.
Yeah. What have you learned in the process in going into this field and learning more about, the body, being a woman, being feminine, unapologetically feminine, showing yourself? What have you learned in the process, especially when dealing with women who come in with issues about their own self-worth, about their body? What have you learned in the process?
It's taught me a lot. It's taught me to be more comfortable in my own skin and be, how important it is to be self-confident and to feel good about yourself. But also, like, I really start to see a lot of messaging from companies, like marketing messaging. Like you already know that the diet industry is, it's hugely profitable. But I
Yes,
also
yes.
just feel like, women who don't conform to that size, it feels freeing not to have to conform to societal standards, like who cares? I don't
Yeah,
necessarily need the bikini wax or whatever it is you're trying to sell me.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But you see, that comes from a place of, like I said before, self-worth. After you have accepted who you are, you really don't care. Because really, Paula, I mean, how can you compare yourself with someone else? You, I just, that concept cannot sink in my mind. because you could never really match up. I cannot compare myself to you. You cannot compare yourself to me. I cannot become you. You cannot become me. So it's like a moving carrot. At what
Yeah.
point will it stop? Okay, so I see you probably, okay, you have lighter skin. What do? As a black woman, am I going to continue bleaching my skin till it becomes light like yours or lighter than yours? I have decided to have shorter hair. What would I do? Should I give, because I feel, okay, longer hair is getting more attention. Should I grow my hair out? Then what next? The hips, the butt, the
Yeah.
breasts.
It's a
Yeah,
never ending cycle.
at what point will it end? And that's the concern. So when we say unapologetically feminine, it requires, to me, and you could tell me otherwise if I'm wrong, an acceptance, and an acknowledgement. If you have cellulite, it's your cellulite. Own it. It's yours. If your breast is up and down, is not level, own it. It's your breast. If your lips are not full enough, so what? It's your lips. Own it. It's made for you to match who you are. You could tell me otherwise if I'm, you
No,
know.
I think that's right on point. I mean, how much time do we waste worrying about our looks all of the
Mhm.
time? It's time consuming. Wouldn't you rather use that energy to go out and create, or just to go out and do something fun, or travel, or live your life?
For sure, for sure. I
Yeah.
mean, because it's a never-ending story. The carrot is constantly moving. At what point will you stop? And so Corrine adjusts herself to the long hair, the lighter skin, the bigger butt, the whatever breast. And then when I look at myself in the mirror, I can't recognize myself anymore. I know I don't know who I am or even what I am, because clearly I'll be a what as opposed to a who. Because I would have changed my body to everybody's so-called expectation, and still
Mhm.
people's expectations are changing based on where I go. So I might go in a particular event and somebody might say, "Oh, why is your," and I might say, "Oh, I need to change that." And so I'm constantly
Mhm.
changing, changing, changing. So
And you
at
can't
what,
maintain that either. Like, it's constant maintenance. Who wants to be, constantly just feeling you're never enough, basically?
that is the point. You're never enough. So at what
Mhm.
point are you going to admit that you are enough and you cannot meet the standards? Well, I don't know if it's a standard or the expectations of other people. And those same people, you could tell me, Paula, those same people who are criticizing or looking at you are also insecure about their own selves.
Yes,
But they're
so
putting
true.
pressure on you. So when you are thinking, oh, I need to fix this or be this to this person, they are insecure.
That's exactly it.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people like to um, reflect back onto others what they're feeling.
yeah, projection. Yeah, and they are not taking responsibility for it. They project it onto you, but it's really about them. It has nothing to do with you. Once you are secure about your own self, your body, and we spoke about that, the body, that is external. What about your internal beauty, which is really what comes through externally?
Mhm.
This is temporary. This changes as we age, but internally that doesn't change. That personality, that aura, that soul, that heart will always remain. You could tell me if you see that sort of beauty exuding out of women when you photograph them, and when you do their portfolio. What do you see coming out of them when they come in a particular way through your door, and what do you see coming out of them when you photograph them?
I love that so much. So I just watch them sort of, and it's so funny because I always say I get the best shots towards the end of the session because they start getting into it. They're having
Yes.
fun, and then they realize they stop feeling self-conscious about it.
Yeah.
And so then they sort of open up, and then it's really fun because I do same day viewing and ordering. So it's really fun to have them look at their photos and they're like, "That's me," and I'm like, "Yes, that's
Yes.
you." I mean, and they walk out on such a high, and it makes me feel so good when they come back later and they're like, "Yeah, I feel so confident. I've had so many people compliment me lately."
Yes.
Because they are feeling better about themselves. So it's just a fun transformation to watch.
how do they sustain that? Because it's all good to walk in, come into your place,
Mhm.
they have flaws or they feel they have flaws. They go through that journey, that transformation. They're like, oh my God, is this really me? I can't believe this is me. And they're on a high. The adrenaline rush, they feel good, the endorphins, all of that is pumping. And then they go back into their homes, they go
Mhm.
back into the workplace, they go back into their circles, and it's like they go right back to the default. They
And I
don't
think it
take,
does teach them, to that they start doing more things for themselves.
ah,
And the other thing is they have physical products, so they're walking away like with a physical product. I've had so many clients tell me that they're like they've actually taken their albums to work with them. They show clients and they're like, "I'm so proud of these photos. I'm going to send my coworker in to see you." And then they have the Waller, and I tell them all the time, I'm like, "Look, you might not look at the album every day, but you'll see that Waller, and it's a really powerful reminder of who you are."
yeah. Would you encourage women to do these sort of, I call it a portfolio, this sort of thing ever so often to feed their
Yeah.
soul, to feed their minds, to just feed them, to just remind them, hey, I'm beautiful. I deserve this. You know, these kind of photo shoots I remember, well, not in the way you do it with a boudoir type of thing, but that is something I want to do. But not only that, just take the boudoir off, the lace, whatever, and just be totally naked, but in a nice, professional way where I can appreciate my body, all the flab, all the hanging, all the whatever, appreciate my body. And I mean, you have to reach at a point where surgery is not going to cut it, liposuction is not going to cut it, whatever other things that people are thinking of, Botox,
Yeah.
I don't know, you know, just accept who you are. And it's amazing. I'll tell you something. I come from an art background, painting and drawing. And models, when you have to model for an artist to draw, naked models, they want to see that type of thing. What you think is imperfection and flaws, it's beauty to them. So when you have that hanging belly that you're complaining about, they love that because it brings so much texture to the image, to the final product. And you actually see beauty in it. And there's a story, Paula. You could tell me every wrinkle, every scar, there is a story, a history behind that.
Yeah, there is.
Yes. Everyone's body is different. My body's story is different to your body story and your clients, their body story. Everyone has a story. You could tell a story from each person's portfolio. It's absolutely amazing. I wanna go through your website here. Let me see if I could quickly showcase that. Give me a second. And you could guide us through. Could I get it here? Let's see. Yes, I can. Are you seeing that?
Yes. Yep.
Beautiful. So we're here on your website, Boudoir Betty. I wonder why you get that. Where did you get that name?
So that's a great question. So I started off in retro pinup photography, like the 1940s, 50s pinup style.
Mm-hmm.
And a Betty back in the 50s was basically a slang term for a good looking woman. And I used to do some pinup modeling. So Bodacious Betty was my pinup name.
Oh,
Um, So Boudoir Betty sort of evolved from that, but that's a great question because sometimes people will contact me and I usually answer to Betty because they don't really know who to ask for.
I love that. So guide us through your website here. We see some of the photos. So let me just say here, if people want to be able to do this type of thing, I mean, I'm in Trinidad, will not be able to get to you, but this is a global audience. So if persons in your area want to be able to do it, they should reach out to you. But there are lots of, I'm sure, professional photographers who could do this, the photo shoot, do this
Mhm.
type of thing to make you feel good and enhance your body. I like this. This is like something from back in the day, those, what you call it, Western movies.
Yeah. So most sessions include hair and makeup. So you come in, we pamper you with hair and makeup for about an
Lovely.
hour, hour and a half, gives them plenty of time to kind of get comfortable. And then once we're done with that, I usually will demo. the poses for the ladies. So we'll spend some time in front of the camera. I show them how to pose. That typically takes about an hour and a half to 2 hours. And then once we're done with that, we break for about an hour. I usually give them a snack, some champagne. And then during that time, I'm actually uploading the photos and just choosing the best ones. So then they get to we look at your photos. They are unretouched on the day of, but I usually do like a full retouch on anything that they select. So they're with me most of the day. It takes about 5 to 5.5 hours usually from start to finish. But it's a fun day.
This is a 50 Shades of Grey photo shoot here, and I am booking, I'm telling you, my 50 Shades of Grey photo shoot with you.
Awesome.
I am booking my 50 Shades of Grey whip and chains and everything and all, Paula. Get ready.
Florida is a great travel destination, so you can come here on a vacation.
I love that. I love that. You see this image here where you put it up on your wall. I think that does a lot for you in your own home.
And it's a silhouette. I always have I'll have ladies tell me that they're like, well, I don't think I want wall art. And I'm like, but they haven't seen their photos yet. And I always make sure that I take something that's kind of modest or a little bit more ambiguous, so that if they do want to hang it on their wall and they're worried about somebody seeing it, then they feel more comfortable hanging it in their house. And a lot of them will hang it in their master bedroom, bathroom, even a walk-in closet.
Why are you hiding it? No way. This is a conversation piece. I am not going to be hiding this. I could tell you that.
I love that. I feel like, I definitely feel like more women should feel more comfortable hanging art throughout their house.
Throughout the house. And it's a conversation start, and you wouldn't believe somebody comes into your home and they say, I can't believe you did that. Did you really do that? I always wanted to. And you'd be like, sure, let's do it. Because once they see you do it, it's going to be easy. Yeah. Look, Fleur is on and she's saying, bodacious, nice. Thank you, Fleur, for being here to support us. She's saying she would love to do this. Fleur, I know you. I know her personally, Paula, and I know she would love to do it. 50 Shades of Grey. She's saying beautiful work. Thank you so much, Fleur. Yeah, let's come back to the website here. This is awesome. Look at this. Look at this. I mean, it is just sexy and appealing. It makes you feel good. Can you imagine you have this around your house? Everywhere you walk, you're surrounded by this beauty. Everywhere you walk, you're constantly reminded. So when I ask the question about how do you sustain it? Hell yeah. Everywhere on my walk. Everywhere. I wake up in the morning, I see my beauty. I go in the kitchen, I'm cooking to my beauty. I walk around, it's in the library, it's everywhere.
And you know what? It's so much better than generic wall art anyway. You don't need a piece from, TJ Maxx or Kohl's or whatever. Get custom wall art.
Of course. Look at this beauty. And somebody might say, my God, she's probably obese and whatever, and I'm too overweight and too much breast and too much. Look at her. Look at her. She is stunning. My word. She is stunning. I think this is her here, right? Is this her or someone else?
Actually, that is my makeup artist. And I did a session with her prior to her wedding. And so she was kind enough to give me a testimonial. So I put that. I think I've got other testimonials sprinkled in on my contact page.
Can we play it?
Yeah, of course.
Let's see. Tell me if you can hear it.
So I recently had
Are you hearing it?
Yes. Yep.
Wonderful. I just want to make sure.
Buddy photo shoot, and I have to say that my expectations were blown out of the water. It was different for me because sometimes I do makeup, but I was on the other side of the fence, and it was just an amazing experience. I think one of the things that I worried about was, contrary to popular belief, I am not a supermodel. I have no idea to do certain poses or how I'm supposed to move my body or even where I'm supposed to put it for that matter. And I have to say that she was very amazing in helping me figure out what pose was going to work for me and my attitude, my body, my outfit. Everything was effortless. She just instantly knew what to do, which was nice because it's a woman, and B, it ended up being very classy and tasteful versus like some that can be very skanky, or you can tell that this is something that a man put together. So it was really nice to have someone that knows a woman's body, knows how to position yourself and make it look graceful and beautiful.
Look at that.
I think my favorite moment with the pictures was revealing them for myself and just being able to see like, oh my God, that's me, and ooh, shit, I look amazing. And then the second favorite part was asking the photographer on my wedding day to capture my new husband when he saw the pictures, and the look on his face was just priceless. I couldn't ask for a better reaction. And honestly, if I could do it every day, I definitely would. I think if any of my friends were to ask me, how did you feel about it? Is this something that I should do? I would highly recommend it because it's a chance for you to feel beautiful. It's a chance for you to feel sexy and still be tasteful. And it's an opportunity for you to look at yourself in a way that maybe you don't necessarily see yourself, with like lighting and amazing outfits, great hair, great makeup. Like, I really think that it's something that I'll probably do like once a year. I loved it.
Awesome. Awesome. You know, she said something there, Paula, about gifting her husband, her new husband. That is something that is significant. You know, I think it is like a keepsake where you can, where the man can look back every time and remind himself, this is why he fell in love with you. This is a woman that he loves. He has somebody that he can treasure. You know, how do you incorporate men, spouses, or persons who matter in people's lives in this whole thing?
That's a great question. So sometimes it's a total surprise for the significant other, and usually, she'll know like what he's into. Like a lot of times they'll bring in a sports jersey, or we'll find ways to sort of bring in items that are personal to just the two of them. Mm-hmm. Sometimes he knows about it and he'll have poses picked out that he wants her to do.
Lovely.
So, I won't necessarily copy another photographer's work, but like I will look at it and I'll put my own stamp on it. But it's really fun to listen to them, how they got together, how long they've been together, and kind of learn a little bit more about them. And it's really fun to hear about their reactions too, if it is a surprise.
Yes, I think this is a very tasteful way to just, like you could have little ones that you drop into the drawer or in his lunch bag or in his briefcase.
Yes.
Yeah. Just little thing, you just drop it, nothing major, it's like, I wasn't really thinking or planning anything, but oops, there it is. Just to remind you.
Make sure you think about me today.
Yeah. With a little note, probably that may be something you're expecting. I might be wearing that outfit when you come home. You never know. You just never know. I'm putting thoughts in people's minds, Paula. I'm putting thoughts in people's minds.
Yay.
And this is good. This is good. I love the work that you do. I think it's very empowering for women. I think we need to feed ourselves. Like you said, we are nurturers, natural nurturers, but the first set of people we must nurture is ourselves, because we cannot give out of an empty cup. We cannot help others if we cannot help ourselves. And I think the best way to help another person, or one of the best ways, is when they see we live who we are, as opposed to just keep on feeding into somebody, but they don't see it reflected in us. We must live who we are. And once we do that, it will encourage others to want to follow, to do the same. Yeah. Any
No, it
final
does.
thoughts on that as we wrap up?
No, I totally agree with what you say. I feel like if you set the example, others around you are going to respond to that energy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is awesome. I wish if you were here in Trinidad. I'm telling you, like I said, I booked my 50 Shades of Grey session. Just look out for me now, Paula. And a lot of other women will be following me. You see, Flo is already on board. She wants to do something like this. And I'm sure when persons look at the replay or look back at the live, they will be inclined to reach out to you. So keep
Wonderful.
doing what you're doing. And thank you so much for
Thank
being
you
a
so
guest
much.
on Between the Lines.
Again, thank you for having me and have a wonderful day.
You too.